The artworks you see here are by my father, Gordon de la Mothe, who was born in Grenada in 1933. They are urban views of Maidstone, where he lived between 1970 and 1985, together with a self-portrait, and were donated to the museum's collections in 2019. I would like to tell you something of my father's background and social activism through his art. In Grenada, he was racially identified as a mulatto, that is, of mixed European and African descent. On arriving in England in 1958, he found himself suddenly classified as black. This directed him to trying to understand why so much of the world was simply divided into black and white, with black being treated as inferior. He joined others who were making efforts to challenge the construct that had become a fixed societal standpoint. He is now one of the few who are still around to tell the tale of those challenges. Previously a clerical worker in Grenada, he initially had to work as a house painter in Britain. Arrived to join him in 1960, the family experienced the difficulties of immigrants with children. And in 1962, we moved to Luton, where Dad was first a postman and then a production line worker at Vauxhall Motors. Creative activity had always been his main interest, so he enrolled at the College of Arts on a part-time basis. After 3 years, he enrolled on the Art Foundation course, progressing to his fine art degree at Maidstone College of Art and onto a teacher training course in Liverpool. These were turbulent times. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were murdered, and rising political immigration agendas in the UK prompted protests for recognition and fairness of treatment. His college thesis explored the racial situation in Liverpool, home to one of the largest and oldest coloured populations in Britain, where young people were actively involved in a struggle for rights and respect. Dad began to appreciate the parallels between perceptions of class and race. He perceived there was an incredible range of both positive and negative representations of African people in European art from before and after the slave trade period. When he started teaching, he continued his work as an academic painter and exhibited work in mixed exhibitions, including the Royal Academy's Summer Exhibition in 1975 and 77. Like other artists from the Commonwealth, he couldn't find a gallery to display a commercial exhibition of his work. Over time, Dad's style of painting changed to use imagery relevant to non-Europeans, such as steel band drums and compositions reflecting the tensions related to involvement with police and mixed-race relationships within the community. In 1981, he joined the Caribbean Teachers Association, CTA, as it was preparing to give evidence to a commission on the education of immigrant children in British schools. The CTA played a significant role in establishing the concept of multicultural education. It set about advocating change and developed supplementary schooling for children officially classified as not interested in or incapable of learning in mainstream schools. With a grant from Southwark Council, they set up a supplementary school and leadership conferences, attended by pupils from local schools on Saturdays, where they participated in discussions on educational and social issues, actively refuting their classification. While contributing to these conferences, my father extended his Liverpool research. He collected images to demonstrate that the history of the African people did not start with the transatlantic slave trade, and that Africans had always contributed to and had been part of Western civilization. This work was seen by the Inner London Educational Authority, and elements of it were soon included in their curriculum. In 1993, he published a book titled Reconstructing the Black Image, which outlined his thoughts and views, refuting the negative perceptions of black people in Western society. You can see it displayed here with his paintings. This book has continued to influence thinking around black rights issues and is now a core text in literature of its kind. Dad returned to Grenada in 1998, devoting his time to improving the education of young people there. He initiated an art course which included the training of teachers who are now themselves engaging with secondary schools. Following Hurricane Ivan, he was instrumental in the organisation of an exhibition of children's art as a therapeutic exercise. In 2006, works from the exhibition were subsequently made into a calendar, and sale proceeds became the basis of a Patron of the Arts Fund. In 2015, my father was awarded an OBE for services to art in Grenada, and in 2016, he was asked to give a talk to art teachers in London about his role in multicultural education at the Tate Gallery.
This audio is based on a talk Gordon gave to the Tate in 2016 for their learning department about his participation in and knowledge of multicultural education in England.